Okay, so I want to make a correction. So the correction that I want to make is that I said on my last video that March is the month of mental health awareness. That's not true. So I want to correct that. May is actually the month of mental healthness. Mental health. Wow, that ain't what I meant to say either. Mental health awareness. Let me reponder. Let me think about what I just said. I said mental healthness. Well, shoot, it does go together though, if you think about it, because when people who are going through a mental health crisis, they actually are dealing with hell in their mind. And nothing about hell is good. So let's just leave it right there. Let's leave it where it's at. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to go any further with that. But I definitely wanted to let you know that March is not the month of mental health awareness. So let me do this because I'm actually recording this for my podcast as well. Interesting. that was just crazy. So, like I said, correction, March is not the month for mental health awareness. May is actually the month, and I wanted to correct that. So, I know that I was going to be going through my book and everything, and I'm still going to do that. But what I want to do is something a little different today, because I do have a coaching session that I'm going to be doing next week with the athletic department, the students of Rice University, Houston. And what I'm about to teach y'all today is what I'm going to actually be teaching them come next week. So I'm going to share this with you because I really want to make sure that you guys get some help as well for those of you who are dealing with any type of mental illness and stress and all those things. I want to start with a scripture. No, I won't be doing this when I do the Rice University, but I'm doing this with you guys right now because someone needs to hear this. Even though I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So, what does being transformed to this world mean? It's not telling you to do not be the world. Hold up, let me get something to drink. It's not telling you to be, the world. We live in the world, so we have to deal with the things of the world. But what it's actually saying is that don't be like what's going on in today's time in the world. So what might be popular and what we call trending today, you don't want to always gravitate to trends. You don't want to always do that. Gravitating to trends is not always a good thing. And the reason why it's not good is because trends come and they go. They don't stick around forever. They're good, they're hot, they're popular right now. And then they're gone. And then the next trend come along and the same forth. So you don't want to transform yourself to these type of trends that comes in to the type of things that you know that it's just not good. You know, like how some people might call good evil and some people call evil good, but you don't want to be transformed to that way. What you want to do, you don't want to conform yourself to that way. What you want to do is transform your mind to an understanding where you know what is actually true and you want to test everything, okay? And you want to make sure that you are in the will of God when you are doing the things that you are doing. I want to coach on why is pain associated with change. Now I was going over this with my husband last night, and I like to basically I like rehearsing with him and just to see his answers and see what he's gonna say and everything. I be want to know some of the things that he be thinking about, and I like to pick his brain and all that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask questions, and I know you guys cannot answer these questions, but you can answer these questions for yourself. Meaning that when I ask a question, think about the answer for yourself, and I'm going to go over some of the questions, and I'm going to go over all the questions, matter of fact, and I'm going to give you some clear answers on how you can answer these questions and stuff. But so, why is pain associated with change? Have you noticed that every time a change takes place, pain is associated with it in some form or fashion? It's always something happened. So here's an example, and we have been living it ever since this happened. COVID-19. So COVID-19, with all the people who died and people who caught it, and I'm one of the ones who caught it, I still have side effects from that. And the side effect that I have is my lungs. So I end up with bronchitis where I cough a lot. And when I do catch a cold, it's harder for my cold to go away. Usually when I get a cold, I can be done with that cold within anywhere from 3 to 5 days. That cold will be gone. Now my cold is lasting 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm talking about the side effects such as my lungs, I'm coughing, it's not going away, or my breathing, all that. So that's what COVID has done to me, the long-lasting effects that it have had on my body. But what did that pain prompt me to do? It prompted me to be more cautious with my health. So I was always cautious with my health, but now I'm even more cautious with my health. See, before COVID, I wasn't worried about my immune system because I never was sick. And when I did get sick, for the little colds that I had, like I said, it'd be 3 days to 5 days and they're gone. But now my colds are lasting so long to where I have to constantly make sure that I'm doing what I need to do, such as making sure I get my vitamin C. I even try to do my zinc and vitamin D and even B vitamin. I just finished taking B vitamins just now. That's why my mouth feels the way it feels, because it tastes nasty. But one of the things that I've learned, that with that pain, it prompted change in myself to do more to boost my immune system, to boost my to boost my immune system. Even like right now, I still have the sniffles, I still have the chest thing going on, and I had a cold 3 weeks ago. Or was it 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. I know it wasn't that long ago because my son just got me sick. And now that he's getting me sick all the time, when he come home with a cold, I have to come up with some new ways of doing things, making a change. And one of the ways is that, baby, when you're sick, I'm sorry, I can't be kissing and hugging on you, which I used to do all the time when he was sick, didn't care. But now I'm getting your colds all the time, so I can't be getting a cold when you get one. And then also, we're going to have to wear a mask around the house when you're sick, because I don't want to catch these colds anymore. It's causing me to miss work and all that stuff because I'm not feeling well, all those things. So that's part of the reason why I chose to do why pain is associated with change. So I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to give you some bullet points, and we're going to talk about these bullet points and questions. So let's get right into it. Be aware of the thoughts you entertain because your thoughts give off energy. Our thoughts indeed have energy, influencing our emotions, actions, and even the world around us in many ways. It's important to cultivate positivity and mindfulness in our thoughts to create a more positive energy within ourselves and around us. Question number 1. How can you become more aware of the thoughts you entertain on a daily basis? So I asked my husband this question last night, and he was like, he came up with some things. But I want to help you to figure out how you can be more aware. So he said, write things down. Yeah, but you're not always going to have a pen and paper to write your thoughts down. So here's one of the things that you can do when you want to be aware of the thoughts that come through your mind. I say ask yourself questions. When you have certain thoughts going through your mind, you should ask yourself questions about, are these thoughts that I'm thinking about or entertaining, because mainly what it is, you're entertaining the thoughts. Are they positive thinking? Am I thinking on a positive level, or am I not thinking on a positive level? And if it's not positive, because you know positive from a negative, you know that. If it's not positive, then you have to channel your thoughts in a different way. Challenge yourself to start thinking more positive. Excuse me. So challenge yourself to start thinking more positive. That's what you want to do. Question number 2. In what ways do your thoughts manifest energy, and how does this energy impact our lives and the lives of those around us? So some of the ways that our thoughts manifest energy is that when you're thinking about an outcome of something happening, and your brain gives off these waves, which part of it trickles down to your body, to where you will start acting on the thoughts that are in your mind. And if you're not careful, what you do because of the way you're thinking, it will affect someone else. It will affect them. And then the people around you are reacting because of the thoughts that you have already had in your mind. And they're reacting from the action that you have displayed to them because of that. Question number 3, what are some strategies can we employ to cultivate more positive and empowering thoughts to send positive energy into the world? So some strategies that we can do, you want to always question the thoughts that you're having. Question it. Ask yourself questions. Are these thoughts that I'm thinking, is it worth me thinking it? Should I be thinking like this? Am I tripping? Am I not tripping? You know, you can question yourself about these things because you want to know. Don't always think that the thoughts that are going through your mind is okay, because sometimes the enemy plants thoughts in your head. Sometimes. So what I mean by that is, if you have somebody who's always talking negative and they're around you constantly, or you around them, or y'all talking on the phone, sometimes the way they're thinking can influence the way you are thinking. And you might want to start counteracting that with, if they have negative things to say something positive in the counteract of what they're saying. And if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about, what I'm saying is like, let's say for instance, it's someone say, man, it's raining again. Oh my goodness, I hate when it rains. Okay, well, we know that rain ain't always good, but we also know that rain is good. And you say, hey, well, at least the plants and the farmers are getting their their plants and their crops watered, and we get to have some potatoes sometime this summer, or the corn is gonna grow. At least the farmers are getting their something. You counteract it with something positive. I'm just being a little silly here, but yes, you want to counteract it with positivity. So that's the next bullet point. Okay. Do not cut your dreams short by downplaying it. It is critical not to underestimate the potential of your dreams. Believing in them and nurturing them with dedication and perseverance can lead to incredible outcomes. But if you put them off you will never know what you could have become. Question number 1. How do self-doubt and negative self-talk contribute to the tendencies to downplay your dreams? So I asked my husband this last night too. So the thing is this: we are our worst critics. This is what I told him last night. We beat ourselves up far more worse than anybody else could. We say the wrong things to ourselves and we think it's okay. And the reason why we feel like that is because who is going to counteract those thoughts when nobody else hears them but ourselves? We're the only one who hear those thoughts except for God. So if we are the ones who hear those thoughts and no one are able to counteract those thoughts with positive thinking or positive affirmation or say something positive to us, then we start believing it. And that could change the dynamics of the way you are going to pursue your dreams and put yourself out there to do your best to get what you want accomplished. Question number 2, I meant to say. What strategies can you employ to overcome the urge to downplay your dreams? So, a strategy you can use is to help yourself by talking yourself into your dreams and not out of your dreams. So, don't be like, man, I really want to be a surfer or something like that, or I really want to, let's say the surfer. I really want to be a surfer, but them surfboards cost way too much, and I go and buy a surfboard, this ain't gonna work out. What if it breaks? You're already talking negative, and you shouldn't be thinking that. What if it breaks, and what if it doesn't work, or what if I don't have time to continue to try to learn surf so I can be in the ocean like that? No, you really need to start thinking in a different way, such as like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this surfboard even though I know it's expensive. But because it's expensive, it's gonna make me want to put it to use, because I'm not gonna let my money go to waste. And I'm gonna do exactly what I need to do to make sure I put all my energy and time into this, at least to a point where I'm getting better and I'm improving. That was just an example that I use, okay? Question number 3, how can you foster a mindset of confidence and belief in your aspiration? I'll read it again. How can you foster a mindset of confidence and belief in your aspirations? Think about that question for a second. I don't know why every time I start talking, I get all stuffy and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I hesitate when I talk. I get stuffy and I can't stand that. But I told you it's part of that cold that I have. How can you foster a mindset of confidence? Confidence is a big, big, big deal. A lot of us don't have confidence. We pretend, but when we're put in a situation where we have to really show up and show what we're made of, that confidence level dwindles and it goes down. And matter of fact, it turns into anxiety because now you really is put on the spot and you are literally in the thick of things, and now you're like, oh my goodness, Ooh, but let me help you with that. One of the ways that you can foster a mindset of confidence and belief in your aspiration is to actually believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe it. And even if you're nervous, do it while you're nervous. Do it anyway. Do it while you're scared. Even if you're scared, do it while you're scared. Okay? Do it. And before you know it, the nervousness is going to go away. And then the confidence is going to come in and push out the scaredness that you have inside of you. So that's one of the ways. Just do it. That's not my slogan. I'm just telling you what to do. Okay? This is question number 4, how do the environment and the people around you influence your perception of your dreams? And how can you surround yourself with support and encouragement to stay committed to your dreams? I wrote something at the bottom of this. So I wrote all of this, matter of fact, but I put this in notes when I was going over it. And one of the things I wanted to say was this here. A lot of people don't understand that when you have a broken dream, when your dreams are broken, it messes with your mind. It makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel like you can't accomplish anything and that you're worthless and you're not worthy. But the thing is that that's also your negative self-talk that is going to be creeping in to make you constantly matter of fact, that makes you continue to feel that way. But your environment does have a lot to play with that. It has a lot to do with that. And the people that you're around that are influencing you, like your parents, your grandparents, your peers, the people that you hang out with, even co-workers and all that. The thing is that you have to understand that you are set apart from them. You're not those people who are talking, and those people are not you. Just because things didn't work out for someone else doesn't mean that it won't work out for you. Let me give you an example. So there's a scripture, there's a Bible study, it's a Bible story, and it's about King Solomon. He was supposed to build a temple for God, but he got so wrapped up in doing the wrong things that God told him, no, you're not going to build a temple. Your son is going to do it. Now, let's say if King Solomon would have been like, you know what? Because I wasn't able to build that temple, and his son, let's say he's talking to his son, and he's like, I wasn't able to build that temple, so guess what? You're not going to be able to build it either because I wasn't able to do it. Okay, first off, that is wrong, and on top of that, that is the type of influence that you want to stay away from. You don't want to be around people who do that. If they do you like that, you need to tell yourself, I'm not them, I'm not you, you're not me. We are two different people, and what God has for me is for me, and no one else can have it. And I am going to be that person that's going to get things done. Just because you didn't get things done, don't mean that I cannot get things done. I'm strong, I'm willing, I'm capable, and I'm able, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. And then when you set out to get it done, don't let nothing stop you. That's how you can commit to it. Don't let anyone stop you. And if you are in an environment that is going against you, and I'm talking about where you live at, you don't have the resources that you need, or let's say, for instance, you in an environment, your home where you're living in, people inside the home, there's a lot of things going on. I'm gonna give you another example. So I used to stay with somebody when I was writing my very first book, and I knew I needed quiet. There was no quiet in that house, and most of the time, because it was a lot of people there. You know, the lady had 3 kids, and then she had other people living there, and they like to party on the weekends and like to party and drink and do all that. But I noticed that only way I was gonna get quiet, I needed to create my quietness. And part of the things that I would shut myself in the room. I shared a room with her daughter, and whenever her daughter wasn't there, like her daughter go to school or whatever, I would shut myself in the room, and I would write. And I would stay focused. I would tune out the noise, and I would write, and I would do what I had to do because I was focused. I was determined to get things done and things accomplished. And I did. And I remember when one of the people that was at her house said something to me. I think I came out the room to go get something to drink or something. And the person was like, "Oh, you're being antisocial." And I said, "No, I'm not being antisocial. What I'm doing is that I have dreams that I'm trying to accomplish. I have goals that I want to actually finish, and I'm going to get it done. I'm not willing to be out here drinking all the time with you guys. That's not how I operate. That's not how I do it. I'm a weekend partier at that time. Not anymore. Really don't do any partying like that anymore. But at the time, I was. And I remember saying, you know, that's what I would do on the weekend. And this particular day, it wasn't a weekend. It was a weekday. And it's nothing wrong with partying during the week. Because I remember when my party days, man, I used to party, what was it? Tuesday, I think that was Arjuns. Wednesday, the bottom. Thursday, what we go on Thursday? I think it was Santa's place or something like that. Friday was Sunset Station, and Saturday was Prestige, and then Sunday was the Santa's place again. Oh, and Monday was we have barbecue or something going on at the house, playing space, stuff like that. And yes, this was in San Antonio, Texas. So for those of you who are listening and say, that sounds like San Antonio. Yeah, it was San Antonio. But that was during those times when I did all that. But I knew I was changing. I knew I had to change. I knew things had to change for me. In order for those things to change, I had to start making some sacrifices, okay? And that's exactly what you would have to do. You have to start making some sacrifices. Okay, so let's get to the next one. Time is running away. I'm trying not to be so long-winded, but to get this message across, I'm going to have to say what I have to say. Any one of you guys who feel like my messages are too long or whatever, break it in parts. Come back another day and finish it. But this is the problem that we have today. Everyone, their mind is not focused. People don't know how to just settle down and just stay focused. They prefer to just look at short things and keep it moving. But the thing is that you're not retaining nothing when you're looking at something short. What you're doing is only holding things in short-term memory, and you are actually damaging your long-term memory. And for you to retain something, a lot of the times you have to listen to things more than once, and you have to do things more than once, and you have to listen to some things for a longer period of time until it really resonate with you and sink in. So I'm not shorting my videos because I want people to watch it and get views and go viral or whatever. No, I'm trying to reach somebody. So if I just reach one person, that's all that matters here, because that person is going to be the one who's going to be extraordinary and just going to get out and do something to make these life changes for themselves. So let's continue. When you come across issues, focus on solutions and not the problem, because sometimes the issues could be a test. It is a proactive approach to problem solving and personal growth, focusing on solutions instead of dwelling on the problem can help you navigate challenges more effectively and turn obstacles into opportunities. Number one, how can you cultivate a mindset that prioritizes seeking solutions when faced with challenges rather than becoming fixated on the problem itself? So, one of the ways that you can is that first off, you have to know that there is no days that goes by that is promised to me or to you that there would not be any issues. You have to know that. That helps soften the blow. It helps you to soften the blow. And the way it helps is that you already know that problems are going to happen. You already know that they're going to occur. So it shouldn't be surprising to you when a problem happens. Now, the type of problem is the thing that probably surprises you, but having a problem should never surprise you. But you should prepare yourself mentally for it and understand that it's going to happen at some point. So, I will always say, be flexible in anything that you do, anything that you are trying to create, or you trying to go somewhere, plan a trip, whatever. Be flexible. Be aware that problems may occur. So when they do occur, you're not taken back by it. It's not something that you are going to be like, oh my God, no, whoa. You're not freaking out, okay? You're not freaking out. So you want to be aware that problems are going to happen, all right? That's one of the ways. And a solution that you can have, that's part of the solution, I would say. So the solution I would probably do for myself, and I like adding myself into this because it gives you an idea of how I think and how I work and how I operate and everything. The solution I do for myself and my mindset is that, first off, I'm flexible. That I am. I don't always plan things, even though they say plan and failure to plan is setting yourself up for failure. I plan things if it's going to cost money. I plan things if it's going to take time to get it done. I plan that. But a lot of the times is that I try my best not to plan every detail by detail by detail, because when something goes off course, now I'm like, okay, did I have a plan B to that? Plan C to that? Plan D? No. So what I say is, okay, first off, let's take it to God in prayer. I'm going to give you another example of what I mean by that. So, I never told anybody about this except for, I told my husband. I don't think I told anybody else. Anyway, so I had an issue when the day of the Free Yourself Conference Gala, that day, I told myself that I was going to go up there and I was going to decorate and have everything all prepared, make sure that the hotel host and all the people who's making the food was going to have everything together and all that. Prior to this, I had already been talking to the people at the hotel, and they knew I was coming. They knew what I had already ordered, the food that I wanted. They knew this. They knew all this. Matter of fact, it was an email. We was talking in email. Tell me why, when I got there, yes, they was putting the tablecloths and stuff like that on the table, but I did the decoration. I decorated the whole place myself. And they didn't have no food. And I was so upset. Oh, I was so mad. But it wasn't the fact that they didn't have no food. They told me that I didn't order food. Hold up, I paid for that. What happened was The original salesperson that I talked to had quit. And when he quit, he did not pass on the information to the new salesperson. But I talked to the new salesperson on email. I even called and talked to him over the phone several times because I really wanted to know if they knew that I was coming because I didn't want no surprises. And she said, yes, I got your information. Yes, I see that you paid and everything. And yes, we got the food and everything placed and all that. But when I get there, they telling me the food is, I didn't order food. What you mean? I didn't order any food. And I was so, oh man. Now, this was one of those moments that I wanted to panic because I knew that was the night that everyone was going to show up and guests and all that and the guest speakers and all that. And I was like, okay, how are we going to do this? And the lady who was helped setting up, who was over the catering part of the actual food and stuff, I was talking to her and she was like, well, they didn't tell me anything about you having food. All they said was just set the tables out and put the tablecloth. And I'm like, really? Seriously? Come on, man. I'm not gonna go off on you because I don't go off on people like that. I just don't. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And then also I like to hear people out. I'm one of those ones that I want you to explain to me what is happening. Give me details. Now I am a solution person. I want to find solution because I already see the problem. It's already there. So let's find a solution because I can't sit here and panic over the problem. I want to come up with a solution in this short period of time. I ain't got a lot of time here. I ain't got a lot of time. So come on, let's figure this out. And so I said, well, here's the email. Let me show you the email. So I showed the email. And she was like, well, okay, I see that y'all did go back and forth. I see that y'all have, that you did place the order, but we don't have any food. What you mean you don't have any food? She said, we just remodeled our kitchen and it just got finished today. Today is the very first day that it is available to open up and, be used and put into use. And I was thinking like, all this time I talked to that lady over the phone. I'm not giving any names, but all this time I talked to that lady over the phone. And she said everything was confirmed. And you're telling me that y'all been in remodeling this whole time? And she couldn't have said not once to me that the kitchen might not be ready in time of your event. So do you want to get your money back, or do you want to cancel your situation, or what do you want to do? Not once did she mention that to me. And the lady that I was talking to, she said, yeah, I'm sorry, but I could cancel your the food party and refer you the money back for that. I said, no, no, we're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. This is too close and people are expecting to eat. And one of the things that I know about myself is that if I'm hungry and I didn't get time to stop somewhere to go eat, and I know that where I'm going is going to have food, then I'm expecting to eat when I get to that place. And if I get there and they don't have food, I get grouchy. Yeah. And I'm not listening to nobody talk. And I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm hungry. My stomach is talking right now. And it's loud. And it's louder than what you're saying over there on that microphone. So I told her no. So what ended up happening, to make a long story short, I got up from the seat. This is for real. Because we were sitting down on the outside of the meeting room. I got up from that chair and I started walking and pacing back and forth in that little hallway. And I just started praying. And I was talking to God out loud. She probably thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. Because now I need a miracle. Now I need God to come in and intervene on my behalf on this part, because I cannot sit here and let people show up and there's no food. And plus, I had a DJ and everything. The DJ, he came on time and everything. He started setting up and everything. And I told him go ahead and go up in there and everything, do his part, do whatever he got to do. And I was pacing back and forth. And I was praying. I'm telling you, I was like, God, I know this is not going to happen. This is how I was talking to him. I was like, God, I know this is not going to happen. I know that you are not going to allow this to go down this way. You don't want me to have food here? If you don't want me to have food here, why in the world would they go? Oh, I was going through all that. I'm like, you don't want me to have food here, God? Is this your doing? You don't want me to have food? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. I know you're going to work a miracle out. This is when I actually need you to show up and show out. Didn't you say this is the time for you to start showing out when I'm in a need, when I'm in a crisis? This is the time for you to show up? Isn't that what you say? Oh, I was going all the way out. And I was like, oh, no, we're going to have to figure something out, God. Make something work. Make something work. Oh, my goodness. When I finally calmed down and I ended my prayer on an amen, which means, yes, it is so. I set myself down next to the lady, and I said, you know what, we're going to have to figure something out here, but I need my food. So what can you do? And she was like, I'm the only one here. I said, what? She said, I'm the only one here. I have nobody here. The cooks and all of them are gone. This is a Saturday. No one is here. I was like, oh, now my eyes are rolling in the back of my head. This is going to be a disaster. But I knew what I was up against. And what I knew was that I knew the enemy was rising up against me because of the event that I was having. The type of event that I was having was the Free Yourself Comfort Gala. Free yourself from domestic violence. That's the type of event I was having. And I know every time you do something that is positive, the devil always tried to find its way to shut it down. So I was expecting something to happen. I was expecting it. So what solution happened? What was the solution? The solution was that she decided that she would take it upon herself to go to Costco's or Sam's Club, one of them, and go get every item on that list that I had in the email that I wanted for the guests to have served to them. And she said, I'm going to go ahead and get everything that you have. And I'm going to see if I can call at least one cook to come in and see if we can prepare for you. And that's what ended up happening. When I did come back and all dressed up and ready for the event to go on, there was food everywhere on those bars, everywhere. Matter of fact, it was so much food left over. I was telling people, take food home with you. Now that's that multitude, you guys. That 2 fish in a piece of bread. Yes, that's what that was right there. It was a multitude. It was so much food. I'm telling you. Those who was at the event can vouch for you that there was a lot of food. And thank God. That's what you do. You have a solution. Focus on the solution, not the problem. Number 2, what ways can viewing issues as tests or opportunities for growth shift your perspective and approach to overcoming obstacles? So what did I learn from that situation? What I learned was not to panic. That was number 1. I learned don't panic because it's not going to help me. Focus on solution. That was another one. And the way I felt that it could be a test was that maybe I was being tested. Maybe God was trying to show me that even though you did all this work, something still can go wrong. And what are you going to do in those moments when something goes wrong? Maybe that was my part. That was a part of my test. So when I have my next event, that I would do a lot better than what I did the first time. Maybe what I could have done instead of talking to her through email, maybe I should have went up to the hotel to see if I saw something of them doing anything such as constructions. Because sometimes you can see the kitchen from the actual, front desk. Sometimes you can, depending on how the hotel is set up. Number 3, what roles does resilience play in maintaining a focus on solutions during difficult times, and how can your strength And how can you strengthen this quality to better navigate challenges? So I'm going to read this again. What roles, what role does resilience play in maintaining a focus on solutions during difficult times? And how can you strengthen this quality to better navigate challenges? One way I would probably say resilient is that you don't give up. Even if you have a problem, don't give up. No matter how challenging it is, don't give up. Be persistent, constantly. Don't stop. The other bullet point is be yourself. So let's talk about being yourself. I will not be going this long when I do the Rice University thing because I only got 45 minutes to do that. So I won't be going that long. So for those of you who are thinking like, dang, this is long-winded, no, I would not be going that long. I just had a lot of thoughts in my head that I wanted to get out because this is totally different from what I do at Rice. But at the same time, this is what I'll be talking about. This is what I'm going to be talking about. So, but I'm going to be doing it in a different way, of course. Just wanted to say that. So let me continue. So be yourself. Be true to yourself. Being true to yourself is a timeless piece of advice that will never get old because you are one of a kind and you have been wonderfully made. There is no one else in the world just like you. Number one, how can you develop a deeper understanding of your true self with the pressures of society and external influences? So anyone might say, being true to yourself is one of the hardest things to do with all the things that's happening around us because society pressures us to be different. It pressures us to step outside of our normal character. And if you're not careful, you will get lost in that. You will find yourself getting lost in the ability of being who you really are. And matter of fact, you will end up losing who you really are to where you won't even recognize who you are when you look at yourself in the mirror. Number two, what are some common boundaries that prevent you from being true to yourself, and how can you overcome these obstacles? So, I have to say that I used to struggle with that in my second marriage, but I'm not going to talk about that in this situation. But one of the reasons is because I knew a lot of the things that I was doing was not me. For instance, the way I started wearing my hair, the way I started dressing, that wasn't really me. Wearing dresses all the time, I don't always want to wear a dress, and that was something that he wanted me to do, was to wear a dress and stuff like that. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when I get deeper into the book, but that was something that I had to slowly get back to after the divorce. I had to put myself back in my mind, tell myself that you need to be yourself. Stop being who someone else wants you to be. This is not you. That's not how you are. You need to be yourself. So you have to make sure that when you're being true to yourself, that you're doing the things that bring you joy. That's how you do that. If it's not bringing you joy, then you're not being true to yourself. That's a good way to measure it. Number two, what are some common boundaries that prevent you from being true to yourself, and how can you overcome these obstacles? Some common boundaries are the people that you hang with, people that you associate yourself with, or your spouse, or your parenting, those things. or some other common boundary that keep you from being true to yourself. Because you can't share your authentic personality with people who are not gravitating to you the way you really truly are. And one of the ways I would say that you could overcome it is to, first off, be unapologetic, true to yourself. It's not apologize for the things that you like, the things that you enjoy. Don't apologize for that. If you a person who don't really care about watching TV that much, and the person that you're with always want to watch TV, and you're sitting there like, this is boring to me because this is not how I entertain myself, well, hey, let me know. I don't really want to watch TV, so you go ahead, you do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. Or, for example, you got some people who are afraid to tell those they love in their life who they really are inside, and they hide and pretend to be something they're not. Well, you might want to open yourself up first to the possibility that when you open yourself up and you are true and you are definitely revealing who you really are, you yourself is being pleased and fulfilled, because you don't have to worry about all that extra that comes along with pretending. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to pretend. Oh my goodness, it's stressful. It is so stressful. Look, stress management. You're gonna need it if you continue to be someone you're not. Okay, in what ways does being true to yourself contribute to your personal fulfillment, authenticity, and your overall well-being? I just said it. Don't have to go through it again. Just said it. Okay, so let's continue. The other bullet point is don't be afraid. It takes courage to embrace change, and don't allow fear to lie to you. Fear is one of the biggest liars in the world. Yes, it is. Embracing change often requires courage, and it's important not to let fear dictate your decision, because it will steer you in the wrong direction every time. Number one, how can you tell the difference between healthy, cautious, and fear that may be hindering your ability to embrace change? Healthy cautious is when you're driving. You want to make sure that you're not moving over to the wrong lane too soon, because someone might be in your blind spot and you don't want to get into an accident. But fear, you're driving and you're trembling because you don't want to get into an accident, so you drive extra slow, causing people to have to hit their brakes very fast when they roll up on you. That's the difference, okay? All right. Okay, what strategies can you use to build resilience and courage in the face of uncertainty and change? The strategy that I say is just do it anyway. And if it doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. Don't give up. Okay, how does embracing change contribute to your personal growth and development? And what are some potential benefits of confronting fear rather than succumbing to it? Some of the I would say some ways that you can embrace change for your personal development is to welcome it. You already know that nothing stays the same. No marriages stay the same. No friendship stay the same. Not even your body stays the same. So welcome it, embrace it. There you go. I'm almost done here. Okay. Beware of the company you keep around you and be careful not to run away good people. Give me a second. Drink some water. Maintaining a supportive and positive circle of friends and adequacy is essential for your personal growth and well-being. On the other hand, hanging around negative people can be a bad influence on your mindset and on your future. How can you discern between positive influences and negative influences within your social circle? And what criteria can you use to elevate the impact of those around you? One way you can discern positive influence people, like people who are very positive, that's easy. If a person always wants to be optimistic, you got optimistic people around you, then that's how you can discern that it's a positive influence. But if people are not optimistic and the opposite of that, then you know that you got negative influences around you. Just listen to the way people talk. Pay attention to the things they say. And take in how they make you feel. Oh, that is a big one. If you're feeling drained every time you talk to someone that's in your social circle, then that is not good. Nothing about that is good. That's a negative influence. But if you feel uplifted or cheerful, happy, when you around certain individuals in your social circle, then that's positive influence. And the way that you can elevate that is the way you are, how you react to it, and how you respond. And you can elevate it by being optimistic yourself. What strategies can you employ to cultivate relationships with good people and nurture those connections over time? I would say some strategies that you can employ would be to be a good person yourself, because you attract who you are. You really do. Remember I said about that thought, the energy, the mind is energy. Your thoughts are energy. So what you think a lot about, you attract that to you. So be positive. Be a person of good influence, and you will attract those type of people to you, because iron sharpens iron, baby. I'm telling you. Nobody want to be dull around someone who's dull, and someone who is sharp and they're around a dull person. No, that's not gonna work out. They're not gonna want to be around you like that. So you want to attract who you are. First become that person, and then you attract that person that you want. So work on yourself. That's what you're doing right now while you're listening to this. You're working on yourself. In what ways can surrounding yourself with positive influence contribute to your personal happiness, success, and overall life satisfaction? I will give you one. Meditate. Sing songs to yourself. And you want to sing songs that keep you in good spirit. That's one way. Those are some ways, I would say. A couple of ways or whatever. Use feedback to grow. Use feedback to grow. It gives you insight on how others see you, and choose to hang around people who know more than you. Don't look at it as them being superior to you. Remember that iron sharpens iron. So You want to get feedback about who you are. And what I mean by that is, let me finish this here part. Okay, leveraging feedback for your personal growth is invaluable, and surrounding yourself with knowledgeable individuals can be incredible enriching. That's why. How can you effectively process feedback from others to enhance your self awareness and focus and foster personal development without looking at it through a negative lens? I want to read that again. How can you effectively process feedback from others to enhance your self awareness and foster personal development without looking at it through a negative lens? Some people can't take feedback because they think feedback is criticism, and they feel like you're criticizing them. But what you really do, what a person is really doing when they give you feedback, is that they are first of all trying to help you, but they're giving you their perspective on how they see things or how they experience whatever it is that you have that they're giving you feedback on, because they're telling you how things were with them and how you might can improve certain things to help you with certain things. So for you to be a better person, or for you to know whatever it is that you're doing that could affect others, you want to try to figure out what is it that they're really feeling about you. I mean, you can ask, and they're going to give you the truth, but can you handle the truth? What strategies can you see? What strategies can you use to seek out and engage with others who possess knowledge and expertise in areas you wish to grow in? I would say listen to podcasts, ask lots of questions, and you want to ask questions to those people, those same individuals. You want to ask them questions. Ask them a lot of questions. Some people don't like to be questioned, but those that you can find that don't mind it, ask them questions. And then listen. Listen. You want to definitely listen. And you want to listen to people who have already been where you want to go. So ask them questions, okay? In what ways does the principle of iron sharpen iron apply to personal and professional growth? And how can you embrace this concept to achieve your goals? I would say share your knowledge with others. You're going to get to a point in your life where you're going to become the teacher. You're not always going to be the student. But share your knowledge. Help people. Don't just keep it all to yourself. That will also grow you, and it will make you a better person. So we're on the last one. No matter how strong the pain is, take actions each day towards your goal so you can come out stronger on the other side. Perseverance and resilience in the face of adversity is the way to go when dealing with pain. Keep moving forward despite the challenges you face. Taking consistent action towards your goals can help you build resilience and emerge stronger from difficult times. How can you maintain motivation and momentum towards your goals during challenging times when pain and setbacks seems overwhelming? I would tell you to do self-care. Whenever you are faced with difficult times or challenging times, that is the best time to do self-care. I mean, it will have a positive effect on your mind and your belief and your ability to overcome things. So self care is going to be your best friend at that time. What is self care? We talked about that already. So go and look at my other videos on YouTube as well as listen to my podcast. The name of my podcast is Improving Your Thoughts by Freeing Yourself. And you can get it anywhere that you receive podcasts. And it will tell you what self care is. Or you can just Google it. Yes, I said it. What strategies can you employ to break down your goals into manageable tasks and actions that you can tackle daily, even in the midst of adversity? Sometimes you might need to do one thing at a time. And that's how you can manage your tasks. Just do one thing at a time. Don't try to do everything all at once. Slow it down, okay? Now, if you have a deadline, that's a different story. If you have a deadline, then you need to get on things right away and stop putting things off. Don't procrastinate. But still, do one thing at a time, okay? In what ways does thinking consistent actions taking, my bad. In what ways does taking consistent actions during difficult periods contribute to your personal growth and success? And how can you cultivate a mindset of resilience to navigate through pain and emerge stronger? So what I wrote here was, if you sit still too long, back to it, you want to go and you want to continue to make yourself think about what you have to do. Well, I ain't going to say think about what you have to do, because if you're not taking actions and you're just thinking, you're not really doing anything, because you need some progress. You really do. So what I wrote was, if you sit still too long, you might not get things done. So you want to continue to find something to do. You want to take consistent action, even when it hurts. If you're in pain, you want to try to not focus on the pain and just focus on the task that you're doing in the present moment. Be mindfulness, okay? That means being present in the moment without judgment. I hope this helped you guys. I know I was long-winded. I'm so sorry about that. I will definitely cut this down. When I do my presentation for Rice University next week, it would not be that long. Matter of fact, I won't be sharing all those stories. That's not something that I do when I talk to him. I share a little bit here and there, but I don't really share a lot of stories, so that's going to cut back on time right away. And then on top of that, I will have the students talking to me. They will be engaging back and forth, so it's going to be a discussion. This is actually a discussion. That's why I have all these questions here. This is a discussion that I'm going to be discussing with them, and they're going to be giving me feedback, talking to me, and we're going to go back and forth, and we're going to do this on the Zoom, so it's going to make it so much easier for me to do this. But I want to share this with you guys to give you something to think about, put it in your mind. Really, really think about some of the thoughts that goes through your mind, because you got to remember that thought is energy. When you're thinking, it's energy. You have brain waves that constantly keep going off, and all these signals that's going from here, ping, 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 and you're giving off energy. And when a person, have you ever felt a person who was negative, you was talking to them and you was positive, and then all of a sudden you start feeling drained because it was draining your positive juice? And then now they uplifted and you're down low. You have to really be careful with all that. And it's not as easy as it seems, but if you work on it and you continue to be mindful and you keep your mind focused on what is actually happening in the present moment, then you will be able to start navigating around all those things that is happening. So remember that pain is definitely associated with change. It's hard to find a situation that a person is going to change without some type of pain being involved in it. I'm going to sign out now, Alayla. This was kind of weird having these earphones on, but I wanted to be clear through the computer without all the background noise. It was just kind of weird. But I heard myself talk. That's why I was pausing a lot. I was hearing myself talk, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to do something better than that.